Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tearing right into an absolute classic in the science of personal achievement, Tony Robbins' book, Unlimited Power. If you've ever found yourself wondering how some people just seem to effortlessly crush it while others really struggle, well, you're definitely in the right place. We aren't just tossing around vague motivational fluff today. No, we are breaking down a highly structured, totally actionable blueprint for personal achievement, stuff you can literally start using the second we're done here. So let's kick things off by busting a massive myth right out of the gate. The idea that success is random or just a stroke of luck. Check out this quote from Jim Rohn. For every disciplined effort, there is a multiple reward. The book uses this idea to lay down a foundational truth. Achievement is absolutely not an accident. It's a replicable, highly disciplined process. Essentially, if you study exactly what successful people do and apply that same discipline, the rewards don't just add up, they multiply. Here's our game plan for today. We'll be looking at 1. The ultimate success formula. 2. Neuro-Linguistic Programming. 3. The power of modeling. 4. Mind, body, and beliefs. 5. Anchoring resourceful states. And finally, 6. Walking the talk.
All right, Section 1, the ultimate success formula, the 4-step blueprint.
It all starts with this incredibly logical 4-step feedback loop. First step, you have to know your outcome. You've got to define exactly what you want. Second, you take action, because, desires without action are just daydreams. Third, and honestly, this is where most folks trip up, you have to develop sensory acuity. This basically means having the sharp awareness to see if the actions you're taking are actually moving you closer to your goal or pushing you further away. And finally, step 4, you change your behavior until you succeed. It's just this continuous dynamic loop of acting, getting feedback, and tweaking your approach.
Moving right along to Section 2, NLP Explained, the nuclear physics of mind.
Enter Neuro-Linguistic Programming, or NLP for short. It sounds incredibly complex, right? But we can demystify it just by looking at the words. Neuro is all about the brain, and linguistic is about language. So it's basically the study of how the language we use, both the words we say and our nonverbal cues, directly rewires our nervous system. Robbins actually calls it the nuclear physics of the mind. Just like physics breaks down the literal building blocks of reality, NLP gives us the toolkit to break down human behavior and thought. It lets us run our brains optimally to get the exact results we want.
Which brings us to Section 3, the power of modeling. How to duplicate expert results.
I love this concept. The core premise here is that success leaves clues. The author drives home the point that we don't have to spend years banging our heads against the wall and grueling trial and error to master a skill. Instead, if we precisely duplicate the mental and physical actions of someone who's already crushing it, we can reproduce their exact results. It's a total game changer. It's about finding an expert's exact strategy, how they breathe, what their core beliefs are, what mental pictures they create, and simply stepping into their shoes to copy it. And get this, the book highlights a wildly fascinating case study on pistol shooting that perfectly proves how crazy powerful modeling can be. So Robbins and his team modeled the key beliefs and mental steps of elite military shooters. They then packed that optimum strategy into a super short, day-and-a-half course for total novices. The results? Absolutely mind-blowing. 100% of the soldiers qualified in under 2 days. And it gets better. The number of soldiers who qualified at the highest expert level was 3 times higher than the guys taking the standard 4-day course. Modeling literally allowed beginners to fire off expert signals in their brains, creating these rapid, unprecedented results.
Section 4, mind, body, and beliefs. Perception is reality.
Now take a good look at this simple, curved black line, straight from the source material. Here's the million-dollar question. Is this shape concave or is it convex? Well, the answer totally depends on how you look at it, and this beautifully illustrates a massive point in the text. Reality is completely dictated by our chosen perception. The world we live in is the one we choose to see. Once you decide that line is concave, your brain literally won't let you see it as convex unless you force a conscious shift in your perspective.
So what happens when you want to instantly change your perception, or even just snap out of a bad mood? The book drops a major truth bomb here. Your biggest leverage point to instantly change your mental state is your physiology, your physical body. If you slump into a tense, defeated posture and unresourceful state, your mind drags right down with it. But if you adopt a dynamic, vital, excited physiology, I'm talking breathing deeply, puffing up your chest, standing tall like you've already won, you automatically adopt a resourceful mental state. Mind and body are locked in this cybernetic loop. Change your posture and you change your state, every single time.
And that brings us to the mental game.
This philosophical thought from John Milton hits the nail on the head. The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven. This totally anchors the book's idea of the 7 lies of success. Now, Robbins doesn't use the word lies to mean deception. He uses it as a reminder that we don't actually know for 100% certainty how things truly are in reality. Because of that, we have to consciously choose to believe the lies or internal narratives that empower us, make our lives richer, and get us to take massive action.
All right, Section 5, Anchoring Resourceful States. How to summon peak performance. Ever wanted to just flip a switch and feel totally confident? This technique is called anchoring, and it's brilliant. First, clarify the exact state you want. Let's say unstoppable confidence. Second, you put yourself into that exact state. Maybe you vividly remember a time you felt completely fearless, and you adopt that exact breathing and posture. Third, right at the absolute peak of that intense feeling, you provide a unique stimulus. That's your anchor. Robbins gives this great example of standing like a karate master, making a tight fist, and just powerfully shouting, "Yes." Finally, you test it. If you stack these powerful emotional experiences onto that exact same physical action over and over, you literally hotwire your nervous system. You can summon peak confidence right when you need it, just by making that fist.
And finally, Section 6, Walking the Talk. Take action now.
Here's the harsh truth to wrap all this up. Knowledge alone just doesn't cut it. Success requires taking actual action. As the book points out, there were plenty of people out there who had access to the exact same information as visionaries like Steve Jobs or Ted Turner. The difference wasn't what they knew, it was their relentless willingness to step up, act on that information, and force tangible results into existence. You literally have to walk the talk. Having this ultimate blueprint for unlimited power is completely useless if you don't actually use it to drive positive change for yourself and the people around you.
So let me leave you with this final, genuinely provocative question straight from the text. If you just keep coasting on your current trajectory, where are you going to be in 5 or 10 years? Seriously, is that where you want to end up? Take a second to really challenge your current path. The tools to reframe your perceptions, to model absolute excellence, and to radically alter your results are right here for the taking. It is time to harness your unlimited power. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.